Women's groups call on Donald Trump to demand NCAA change trans athlete policies. A coalition of women's advocacy organizations have called on President-elect Donald Trump to demand the NCAA change its policies regarding trans athletes in women's sports. Our Bodies, Our Sports, the first and only coalition of women's advocacy organizations fighting for fairness in women's sports in the country, issued a letter to the president-elect requesting that he use his influence to have the NCAA take action to protect the rights and opportunities of collegiate female athletes. A press release read, "We write now to ask you to also use your powerful voice to urge the NCAA to take action and clarify participation rules to protect the rights and opportunities of female athletes." The letter read, in part, "The NCAA's controversial and unscientific transgender student-athlete participation policy continues to allow men to participate in women's sports, taking away women's opportunities to compete, roster spots on teams, medals, and safe and fair competition," the release read. This letter to the president-elect comes ahead of the 2025 NCAA convention, which takes place from January 14 to 17 in Nashville, Tennessee. The week is filled with issues, forums, business sessions, and award presentations. The letter also comes after a federal judge blocked the Biden administration's attempt to redefine sex in Title EX as gender identity, striking it down nationwide. The ruling came in U.S. District Court Eastern District of Kentucky Northern Division in Cardona v. Tennessee on Tuesday. Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti celebrated the ruling with a post on X, another massive win for TN and the country. The post read, "This morning, a federal court ruled in our favor and vacated the Biden admin's radical new Title X rule nationwide. The court's order is a resounding victory for the protection of girls' privacy in locker rooms and showers, and for the freedom to speak biologically accurate pronouns. The Supreme Court has previously rejected the Biden administration's emergency request to enforce parts of a new rule that would have included protection from discrimination for transgender students under Title EX. As for the NCAA's current transgender participation policy, it allows trans athletes to play in a sport-by-sport approach, which preserves opportunity for transgender student athletes while balancing fairness, inclusion, and safety for all who compete. The governing body says its policy aligns with that of the Olympic movement. Part of the NCAA's policy requires transgender student athletes to provide documentation that meets the 2010 NCAA policy, plus meet the sports standard for documented testosterone levels at 3 points in time, prior to competition during regular season, prior to the first competition in an NCAA championship, and prior to any competition in the non-championship segment. Our Bodies, Our Sports consists of the following member organizations: Independent Women's Forum, Independent Council on Women's Sports, Women's Declaration International USA, Champion Women, International Consortium on Female Sport, Concerned Women for America, Women's Liberation Front, Independent Women's Law Center, Young Women for America, Independent Women's Voice, and Independent Women's Network. We stand together in honor of the generations of women who came before us and in defense of all the women and girls who will come next. The letter to Trump ends. We ask for your help in demanding that the NCAA finally act to restore fairness and opportunity in collegiate sports, and we thank you for standing with us.